Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to the Fire Guy Show, the only channel where you will never be asked to like or subscribe, because that's just plain annoying. So, launching this new channel today. They always say, just get going. This will probably suck, but it is what it is. So, hopefully you enjoy this content. So I started my fire journey back in about 2014. I was pretty much, I wouldn't say broke, but I wasn't doing well. I had just gotten out of a second divorce. I definitely lost a lot of money through all that. A couple rental properties. I probably had about, I don't know, my net worth was maybe around 100K, after working for 20 plus years of reasonably high paying jobs. Right before that second divorce, I was putting about $2,000 a month on credit cards just to stay afloat, between alimony, child support, living expenses, having a new wife and stepdaughter and my daughter and all that stuff. So I wasn't doing great, for sure. And I discovered Dave Ramsey, whom I think is kind of a, well, can't use these words on a kid-friendly channel, but he's kind of an ass. That's kid-friendly, right? So, but he got me on the road to paying off all my debt. I don't remember how much debt I had back there, but excluding mortgages, because I always think it's not fair. That's kind of stupid to include in your overall debt. But I was probably $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, something like that, right? A good chunk, not terrible, but definitely not great. So I used this debt snowball method and got that all paid off in maybe a year and a half, and started saving. And after I discovered my good old pal Dave Ramsey, somehow, the universe just guided me to Mr. Money Mustache, the godfather of the fire movement. And I got on that train. I saw that Dave Ramsey's was kind of the, he calls them baby steps, but really he's just a big baby. It's just the baby method, right? So it took me about, I was ready to retire in about 2019, and I'll go into all the details in that story in another episode for sure. That's not what we're here to do today. I want to talk about, how difficult it is to actually pull the retire and freaking retire. It's that one more year thing. So go back to about 2019-ish. I had exceeded my goal I set for myself. I mean, I'll just tell you here, it was $850K. It took me about, I guess that's about 9 years to get to a place where I felt I could retire and live, live fairly comfortably. We're not talking a lavish life. I got my expenses really low, and so I was able to save a lot for those 9 years or so. I got myself there. I was ready to retire. I was so ready to retire, I told my boss, don't give me a raise this year. I've gotten a raise every year, 20 years, right? I've always gotten raises, just kind of a given. So I said, don't give me a raise, give it to the younger guys. They need it more than me. I'm retiring in a couple months. This was 2019. And during that time, one of my colleagues whom I support in kind of I'm a technical salesperson, she got pregnant for the second time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hang around for the next 6 to 9 months, help get through that, got caught on a branch there. So I'm gonna stick around, help out there, make sure our customers are taken care of, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I decided to stick around, and then guess what happened? February, March 2020, right? COVID. So at that point, of course, my portfolio tanked, and things were very uncertain. It was kind of just not really scary time, but not the best time to pull the trigger and retire. So I kept on working. Of course, portfolio bounced back and more, right? Very quickly. So I got back to, the highest net worth I had ever been at that point. Definitely ready to retire, or I should say financially ready to retire. But then we could work from home. I love my job. I really love my job, which is you know, kind of a strange thing, I guess. I love it too much. So we could work from home. Things were uncertain, and I just kept working. I really don't know why, right? But I did. During that period, I moved also, and yeah, I just kept working. It was just easy working from home, and I loved my job, so I did it. So after, so I'm doing that for a while, right? Things are good financially and everything. And of course, we all know what happened next, right? 2021, 2022, markets tanked, inflation shot up, and I felt freaking poor. I mean, Taco Bell was their freaking burritos were going up like every other week. Every time I went in there, I felt like I couldn't even afford Taco Bell or hamburger at McDonald's. You know, there's no more dollar menu. It's not like the dollar. I think it's like the $1.79 menu here now for just a hamburger without even cheese, right? So I felt really. I mean, I felt poor. Frankly, I wasn't poor, but my portfolio was down 25 to 30%. Right, that's a big hit. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I've got to keep working. I got to save for college. I want to put money away while the market's cheap, right? Dollar cost averaging while it's low. So, and I felt it was a good time to keep doing that. Work was still going well, still enjoying it, still working remotely. So everything's good, kind of. But I was supposed to retire like 2 or 3 years before that. It's like what's going on here? So yeah, I just kept working, and so yeah, I really started getting that one more year syndrome. You know, you work another couple months, another 6 months, another year, put away another, you know, big chunk of money, dollar cost average in, and I wasn't able to do it. And now I am at I'm well above the 850K I originally planned. I'm at my highest net worth ever, but I still can't pull the trigger. I think like everybody, we're all waiting for the big recession coming up. The yield curve definitely says that. All the charts says it. If you go back to, you know, 2001, 2, and 2008 and all that, it looks like we're gonna hit a recession. So I'm afraid, you know, I literally could just sell everything, put it in bonds, treasuries, CDs, get my safe 5%, and I'd be all right. I wouldn't have quite the income I have now, because I try to be in things that pay closer to 7 to 11%. That's my plan, to live off dividends. That's a whole nother discussion. But you know, I could do that. I'd be all right. But that 5% is not going to last forever. And of course, my money would be safe if I did that, right? But I just feel like I need to keep working, keep putting money away, and I want that recession to hit. I want that big downturn before I actually pull the trigger, so I know we're on the way back up. I do have cash to get me through about the first 2 years of retirement, so that would be my plan, right? So as long as I know that the market's kind of bottomed, I'm good. I'm good with that. But I think there's a really good chance we get a 30 to, I mean, I hate to say it, 70%, that's kind of crazy, 30 to 50% drop over the next year or two, where the recession is just getting pushed out. So I'm afraid that if that happens, I mean, I guess I got 2 years of cash, right? So why don't I retire? Why don't I just do that? But if that recession hits a year and a half from now and I have to start pulling money out, right, or some other unexpected things happen, I really don't want to pull money out when the market's low. So yeah, you know, I've got my plan to retire. I know where I'm going to go. I'm planning to do a little bit of travel, live in an RV some of the time when I'm not out of the country, but I can't pull the trigger. So let me know what you think. Should I retire? Should I not? Let me know down in the comments. I won't ask you to like and subscribe, but I will ask for comments. I'd love to build a community here. I really love talking about finance, retirement, markets, all that boring stuff. I don't know, it's fun for me. I guess I'm weird. Yeah, let me know what you think. Talk me into retiring, please. In the next episode, this is what I'm going to do. In the next episode, I'm going to devise some firm criteria on when I'm going to retire. They're not going to be crazy like, I got to win the lottery, or I got to, put another even 100 or 200K away. Nothing crazy at all. I am going to make some firm commitments and write those up and commit to them publicly. And I'm not talking like a year or two out. I'm talking about, I'm going to make a plan to retire in, we'll say, the next 6 months approximately. That's what I'm committing to. Now, certain criteria will need to be met, but I'm doing it. I'm tired of this. No more 1 year syndrome. Screw that. Let's move on. I've got all sorts of fun plans to do. Right? A lot of people I shouldn't say a lot. I think people who retire early, they've heard enough that you need to retire to something, right? You can't just retire and go play golf, sit on the beach. That might be fun for a couple months, maybe even a couple years. I don't know. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not planning on starting, major businesses and needing or trying to make all this money, but I definitely want to, make videos, travel around the world, hike, bike, run, do all that kind of stuff. Enjoy my life while I'm still young, because as far as we know for sure, this is the only life we've got, and I've burned a lot of the good years of my adult life, but I have a few left, and I'm gonna live those. No more working for the man, although I love my job. Tired of that crap. So let's do this thing. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.